Okay, 3:11. I just went to the gym, or just got back from the gym, and I haven't eaten all day. And I was gonna cook, but I didn't have anything. So we're going to the store, and I'm gonna just show you exactly what I get. So goodbye.
Yeah. Hey, oh, I've been up for like 2 hours. 2 hours. Yo, bitch came through, took a few showers. I don't buy by just money dance, yeah. That wristwatch costs 100 grand. I don't know what you talking about. If you ain't out here, don't talk about me. Only person in the city right now that's popping up, baby, I do it with these bitches out here, they be loving it.
Groceries are here. There's like very little. I didn't get much. I got a donut because flexible dieting and I haven't eaten all day. So I'm Granny Smith apples because if you think that these are the best apples, then hey, Coco, are Granny Smith apples the best apples? No. Yes or no?
No.
You're wrong. Some cheese for the omelets, some pop chips because they're healthy chips and she wanted them. And these Pop-Tarts because these are delicious and they have like a little bit less fat, but they're still full of sugar. They're good. And then I got some bell peppers for the omelet. They're pretty good. Actually, they're really good. It's super easy to cut. That's about it. So we're gonna make some omelets and that's it. Okay. I didn't even check, but it's 1 p.m. I woke up at 4, went to the gym, and did some homework and some stuff like that, and I have not eaten yet. Last time I ate was probably 11 last night, so it's been quite a while. I've been doing like this intermittent fasting thing. I usually don't fast for this long, and I'll actually talk about the science about and what I actually think about intermittent fasting later. But right now we're gonna have, there's 10 grams, not 10 grams, damn it, 10 ounces of some like teriyaki chicken, under 50 grams, 200 grams of white rice. Got a coffee because caffeine. And then this muffin, green tea muffin, because I have a really bad habit of forgetting to eat, especially like on like weekends where I'll go and like I'll do homework in the middle of the day, or I'll go out and do something and then go to work at like 5. And so I'll eat like 2 meals, and so I won't get enough calories. So especially fats, I have a real hard time getting fats in, so this is gonna help. Or it's just me making an excuse because I want to eat this muffin. We're gonna throw some sriracha on that stuff. We're watching this explain thing while we're eating. This is actually pretty dope. It's like a mini documentary about like a bunch of weird shit, and this one's just about DNA. So I actually, like, every time, like, I fasted after I eat, like, I'll have, like, a big meal and I'll eat, and I'll just pass the fuck out every time within, like, 30 minutes, and I'm just out. So that's the one, like, thing that I hate. So hopefully this coffee will keep me awake so I won't feel super groggy and tired. But anyways, I'm going to eat this, and then I'll either show you some whatever I'm doing later, or I'm just going to go into my talk about intermittent fasting. It's like 2 hours later. I fell asleep, like I said I would, but yeah, so we took a nap. Now we're gonna go run to the bank and then go pay for the alignment on my truck and pick up the keys. My ride or die. Coco. Coco. Good girl. Be back. Just picked up the keys. Alright. You're gonna take the truck. I'm gonna take this car and I'll meet you at home, okay? Here. No, take it. Take the keys, dude. Come on. Shake. See? Take it. Good girl. Dude. Okay, so I wasn't gonna record anything. It's currently cold as shit, but this package came in and it's a pretty cool package. I ordered it like last Thursday and it came here pretty fast. Also, big shout out to Athlete for not sending my package yet, and it's been like over a week, but we live in Alaska, so let's open this real quick. Do you know who Bobby Boucher? Because Mama said. Ooh, the bitch is clean. We're gonna try this on, but actually, we're gonna make an edit right now. Boom.
Drop it.
Okay, we're talking about intermittent fasting, and we'll dive in a little bit into fasted cardio and what I think about it. So, intermittent fasting is basically where you'll fast for a period of time. So, say you go to bed at 10, you won't eat again until maybe like 12, 1. So, you'll have like 14, 15 hours of fasting, and then you'll eat for the rest of the day. So, like until 10, from like 1 to 10. So, those 9 hours, your window to eat is gonna be there. The thing with intermittent fasting is that I'll like cut straight to the chase, is that as long as your caloric intake is matched, so however many calories you're eating if you're not doing intermittent fasting, and if you are doing intermittent fasting, are matched, they're going to have the same effect. One's not superior to the other, and it all comes down to basically what works for you, and if you can follow intermittent fasting better. So say if you're doing intermittent fasting and your calories are at like 2400, if you're doing a normal diet and your calories are at like 2700, this obviously is going to be better. But if you match them, then they're going to have the same outcome for you. So for a while, my thought was like, oh, if I'm going to train in the morning, I haven't eaten for a while, I don't have that much energy in my body, my glycogen's low, I'm not going to be able to put the same like output, like power output, I'm going to be weaker in the gym, I'm not going to be able to get the same overall volume because I don't have the energy in me. But after doing intermittent fasting for about a month or so, I've come to realize that that's bullshit. Regardless of if you're like going into the gym fed or you're going into the gym fasted, there shouldn't be any like massive discrepancies between how much weight you're pushing and how much you're able to do, how much cardio you're able to do. But it could also vary from person to person. So someone might be able to train better fasted, someone might be able to train better fed. So it's going to come down to like what works for you. Another thing with intermittent fasting is that if you are training in the morning, I'd suggest you at least give it a shot. I mean, you might wake up hungry sometimes. For the most part, I'll wake up and I'm not that hungry, which could also due to like I'm waking up at 4 or 5 a.m. So I'm not going to be that hungry. And I'd prefer, since I'm going to train within an hour, to not eat, because sometimes if I'm having like a heavier breakfast, like I'm having oatmeal is going to sit in my stomach a little bit longer. I'm going to have to take some more time to let it digest so I don't feel like bloated or feel kind of just like lethargic almost. Carbs do have a tendency to kind of like, sometimes they'll kind of like make you tired. Obviously, carbs are like the main source of energy, like they're going to give you quick energy. But then at the same time, once that energy comes down, you might come down. And it's more of a how your body reacts to it, and it's not like this is set in stone, this is how it's going to be. So yeah, if you're waking up early, you're training early in the morning. If you're training at night, it's obviously a little bit different. I mean, you could still intermittent fast, but like the training part's not going to have any sort of effect, because you'll most likely be eating before you train if you're training at night. Because say if you intermittent fast and you're training at 6 p.m., you're obviously not going to fast from like 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. But if you do, then your window's super small. The other thing about intermittent fasting is that by not eating for this certain window and you're cutting your window down where you are eating, it's going to make it a lot easier to like adhere to your diet. So if you're having trouble, if you're overeating, if you feel like you're not eating enough, if you're always hungry, fasting will have some sort of appetite like blunting effect. So once you get over this hump, like obviously you're going to be hungry a little bit, but once you get over this hump, like massive hunger in your stomach, you're like, oh, I have to eat now. Sometimes you might, but for the most part, in my experience, I haven't had that effect where I'm like, oh, I have to eat now, I'm starving, unless I'm fasting for a little bit longer than I intend to. There's also also like people have said that like intermittent fasting gives them more energy. They feel like they can focus more, like mental clarity. Personally, I feel like it's more of like a mental thing, psychological thing. It's not really this is going to happen for you if you start intermittent fasting. So I give it a shot, see what it does for you. For me, it's worked very well at the gym. Like, I'm still getting good pumps, I'm still getting good workouts, lifting a good amount of weight. No like real like discrepancies between when I was training fasted versus when I'm training fed. I guess you could say there's a little bit of mental clarity. I wouldn't say it's like a deal breaker or anything like massive where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm getting crazy mental clarity, I'm getting crazy energy, you have to try this. The difference is almost, you know what I mean? The one downside I would say is I don't know if this is like a thing that happens or if it's just like how my body's reacted, but when I've done intermittent fasting, that first meal I eat, normally it's like a fairly bigger meal. Like I'll maybe like 250 grams of egg whites, 1 egg, and a bagel and cream cheese, or I'll have some like today I had like 10 ounces of chicken breast and like 200 grams of rice. But every time after I eat, I pass the fuck out. I am out. I get super tired and just like I have to go to sleep. It's tough because I'll eat and then like I'll just like I fall into this routine of like, oh, let me go lay in bed for maybe just like 30 minutes. Oh, I'll just take a quick nap, but then I wake up and I'm just incredibly groggy and lethargic. So what I just done to try and like counteract that is really focus on like not laying in my bed and maybe having like a Coke or something, like a Diet Coke, just to give me a little bit of caffeine to help me like get past that like hump. But overall, I think it's good, especially for me right now, trying to like maintain, cut a little bit. If you're bulking, it might not be the best. It probably isn't the best for you unless you have a crazy appetite and you know if you don't fast, you're gonna overeat and you're gonna get into more of a dirty bulk instead of a lean bulk, which I do think is the way to go. For me, I do have trouble forgetting to eat or not having the appetite to eat too much. So when I do start bulking, I'm gonna stop intermittent fasting. I'm gonna eat before I train and try and eat more meals a day rather than like a few bigger meals a day, just because I don't know if my appetite can handle having that many big meals in a day. So yeah, if you're having trouble eating or you're bulking, just wait for intermittent fasting. If you have a big appetite, you're cutting, you just want to indulge a little bit more when you do it. You want to have more food when you don't want to have like 4 smaller meals. You'd rather have 2 bigger meals. Then try intermittent fasting. It's really personal, and I think you should take into account what I'm saying, but I don't think you should take what I'm saying as like facts and like this is what's gonna happen. I think you should try it for yourself, give it a shot for maybe like 3 to 6 weeks, try it out, see how you feel, and then make that decision on your own if that's gonna work the best for your body, or if just normal eating, no fasting is gonna work better for you. Another topic I wanted to touch on, fasted cardio. The reason why people think fasted cardio is better is because, let me just keep it simple, you don't have carbs in your body, so your body's gonna go to your fat stores to burn for energy because you don't have any carbs in your body since you've fasted for so long, because carbs are the first source your body uses. So all your carbs will have been used up basically, and your body has to go to your stored fat. And that's true. I'm not saying that's not true. Like, the science does show that you will burn more fat in that session when you're training fasted, when you're doing fasted cardio. But your body, the human body, is like always trying to be at equilibrium no matter what it does. So what's going to happen is your body is going to correct itself. Say if you're burning more fat during your cardio session because you're training fasted, and this is how many carbs you're burning throughout the day, 24-hour period, 7-day period, it's going to even itself out. So your carbs are going to go up. Your body's going to burn more carbs and less fat to even itself out after you're fed. But if you're doing your cardio fed while you're training, while you're doing your cardio, your fat's going to be a little bit lower, your carbs are going to be higher, but then throughout the day, it's going to kind of even itself out, and you're going to burn more fat and you're going to burn less carbs. So in the end, it's really the same effect. So it's not like a cheat code. It's not like intermittent fasting. Oh, that's fasted cardio is the way to get lean. It's like you're going to burn so much more fat. it's true that you're burning more fat, but you got to think about it in the long term. You're not just looking at it at the short term. You're not looking at just, oh, I need to burn more fat in this cardio session. It's lose weight overall throughout this like longer period, like 6 months, a year, however long you're doing it. So when it comes down to it, it's just going to be a preference again. Some people like training fasted cardio, they feel better. Some people like fed cardio better. So you're really going to have to try them both, see what works better for you, because in the end, it's a level playing field. Intermittent fasting, normal dieting, and fasted cardio and fed cardio, they're all in the same plane as long as your caloric intake is matched. So one more note, I still think branched chain amino acids are bullshit and a waste of your money unless you're training fasted and you're in a deficit. If you have sufficient protein intake, you're gonna get your branched chain amino acids from those proteins, because branched chain amino acids are the building blocks to protein. Amino acids make up the protein. So if you're getting the protein, you're getting the amino acids. So unless you're doing like fasted cardio, training fasted, I don't think they're necessary, especially because they're a little bit on the more expensive side. If you have the money and you want to spend the money on it, it's not going to hurt you. They taste great. There's a bunch of good flavors. So if you want to spend the money, if you have the luxury of being able to buy branched chain amino acids, then go for it. Go right ahead. But if you're on a budget and you want to really be efficient with which supplements you're taking, I would say you'll be fine without any branched chain amino acids. So that's basically it for this intermittent fasted talk. Gotta go to work, so I'll see you guys later.